Get it.
I'm sorry. We're feeling in a homeroom with Smooth. Class is now in session.
All right, so listen, this is episode number 266 of the Homeroom Smooth podcast. Only jokes, all right? So, Chrisean, it's only jokes, okay? Don't take it personal. How y'all doing today, though?
Great.
Happy Halloween Eve. I think it's Halloween Eve.
Oh yeah, happy Halloween.
No, that's tomorrow.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's Wednesday. It's Tuesday.
In 2 days.
Happy Halloween weekend.
Can't wait to steal my kids' candy. Woo!
You said what?
He said haram. What that mean?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Y'all ain't heard that sound bite yet?
No, I'm gonna
Sure,
Google it.
No, I have not heard a sound bite.
Oh, the Andrew Tate. Haram. Yeah, I remember. Yep. Okay.
I don't know what you talking about right now.
It's
And
like
I think
anti-God. It's like against God.
It's a sin. It just means
It's
sin.
like
It's just sin.
Muslim people say it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'll be all right.
Some Christians think it's the devil's holiday too. Yeah.
Oh,
It was a joke, though. It was a joke.
That's the way I was raised. It was the devil's holiday.
Oh God, a joke to you, boy.
But hey, boy, you sound like my uncle. That boy sound like my uncle.
whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. That was hilarious.
Okay, so needless to say, we have two new people here. So we got Mooncake in the bottom right. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
You
Mooncake,
want to
like,
tell people anything about yourself? No.
Okay, I'm like, sorry, yeah, I should have done that. I just play like video games, Minecraft, League of Legends, and Sims, and I do some political like panels.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, and then next to her we got my boy Bam. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a nigga that talk on the internet sometimes. That's really it. There's nowhere to find me. I'll find you.
You sound like a
You
spy.
the boogeyman?
Wait a minute.
Don't call me, I'll call you.
Mhm.
Period.
Right. This boy a man in black, boy.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Jesus.
But on a more topic focused note, all right. So Chrisean Rock, okay, got offended that Summer Walker did a little jokey joke. Okay, she used the Chrisean Rock audio that's just out there on TikTok, and she just did what everybody else was doing.
My
All
whole
right,
setup just messed up after I rolled my eyes.
look at God. No, no, but on a serious note, Chrisean took offense to it because she said that she was poking fun at her and making fun of her, like in a her state of need or whatever.
Yes, her little situationship at Walmart.
Please let me go first, please.
Let her get it off.
Fine, go ahead, because we've already been here, done that.
I want to give y'all a backstory, okay? So Summer Walker formed. What is happening?
You're not gonna tell me that's not the same nigga. This nigga in two places.
No, I had to switch over to my actual setup.
Okay, I was like, what is going on here?
That scared the hell out of me. I'm like, what the?
These grown men twins in these same t-shirts.
Not grown man.
I do got a twin brother.
Okay, all right. Now that we know that we're not haunted. So, anyways, Summer Walker DM'd. Okay, so fast. Let's go way back. Chrisean Walker was in Walmart with her newborn baby, and the baby was like slung back like a slingshot, and the internet dragged her for filth, and it was like she don't know how to hold her baby, and she's not fit to be a mother. Like the baby's head was literally hanging, just like this man was there. You ain't shit for everybody. But so the internet dragged her for filth and was like, you're not fit to be a mama. And then from there, Summer Walker inboxed her. It was like, hey, I'm here for moral support. I'm here for you, girl. Like, that's not cool how they're treating you. Let's basically giving her sis to sis talk. So then fast forward now, it's Halloween, and she is imitating that same video of her in Walmart holding her baby one back like a slingshot. And the reason Chrisean feels some kind of way is like, dang, he was acting like he was my friend, and now you're on the internet dragging me. And so some people are like, it's just a joke. And Summer Walker claims it was just a joke, but like I feel like she went a little too far because she like went for a gut punch with what really triggered her. I don't think the fact that she did the video was bad because everybody's been using this viral sound on TikTok. It's the fact that she pinpointed that specific thing that she also reached out to her and said, hey, I'm here for you, girl. Now it's like you backstabbing her. Y'all can go ahead and say your piece.
Okay.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna try to go easy.
Okay, go ahead.
On baby girl. I'm gonna try to go easy.
Go ahead.
One, she has to get used to that.
Wait, hold on.
What?
The buzzing thing.
The buzzing ting.
What's going on with your cords over there?
But I swear, I don't know.
It's still doing it.
You might have made it worse.
Yeah, he slick did.
First it was still with him. Now he got cords messed up over there.
What is
Just
that?
do the opposite.
Whatever
Whatever
that
you
is,
do,
that needs to be
Do
plugged
that
up.
in reverse.
Yeah, there we go.
Damn.
Well,
It came back.
Just let it go.
Oh,
we're good.
Okay, you're good. I'm gonna try to go easy on Shorty. One, she's kind of have to get used to that because being a mother, no matter what we do, either wrong in people's eyes, in a lot of people's eyes. Like everybody's going to make mistakes as a parent. Of course, she's not going to be 100% a perfect ass parent. She has to learn how to grow a little tough skin, like she says she has. And I honestly feel I understand how she could be like, okay, well, I feel like it's a little fake, but it was dead ass a joke. I roast everybody. Everybody can get these hard jokes. Do you hear me? But guess what? It's all out of love. And if I really do hurt your feelings, I am grown enough to be like, all right, my bad. I apologize. But she apologized. She's like, I'm gonna take it down. But Chrisean decided to keep dragging the shit, acting all tough because who amped her up? The fans. So I feel like she needs to really put her big girl drawers on and get it the fuck together. For real. Because that tough, I'm a little baby, but I'm tough. Oh, life is gonna whoop your ass much harder. You keep acting like that. For real.
Okay, King.
I mean, I'm not too versed on the situation, so I don't know what's really going on with it.
I just get the backstory,
Right,
sir.
right.
I heard that. I heard the backstory, but like, I mean, it just seemed like fun and games. But at the same time, when you talk about something that's like real close to home or a sensitive topic, especially if you close with somebody and you know that that's a sensitive topic for them, you probably shouldn't have crossed that line. But at the same time, I can also understand that once y'all have a conversation offline and you still want to take it further than it needs to go, then at some point you got to become an adult.
And you gotta learn how to laugh at yourself sometimes.
Boom.
Like, you know how many times my baby done fell out the bed?
Oh, you violated.
Yeah.
You
No,
violated.
About Secret Service couldn't have got that out of me.
No, all I'm saying is it
Yeah.
When especially when they start rolling around.
yes, shit happens sometimes. Sometimes little man, you know how many times my little baby done dinked itself against like, man, these are little terrorists. Okay, we gotta play EMT all day. Shit's gonna happen. Okay.
CPS gonna be our house.
Look at
boy.
her
Yeah,
picture right
don't put that on the notepad, bro.
He writes terror down on his notes.
Hey, we got him. No, just
So I feel like it's a little fake because if they had a discussion about this prior and then she made a video about it, you kind of throwing shade at me now. Also, though, Chrisean does like to play, I'm tough, blah, 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 blah. I'll beat anybody up. And then when somebody makes fun of her, she want to cry about it. I'm like, girl, pick it. What do you want to be? You want to be tough or you want to be a crybaby or you want to be both? You cannot be both at the same time. And also, parents do get judged a lot. Now, that whole situation with the baby in Walmart, that baby was new. That's a new baby.
Fresh out.
A newborn.
that's a new baby.
The baby's neck. The baby was doing the damn exorcist. Okay, like support the child. So now you finna get made fun of. Because
You gonna give people
why
like jokes?
were you in Walmart like that? So I do find it weird that Summer did that, but also she did apologize and she did take the video down. So Chrisean, let it go, or continue to talk about it and make everybody who attacks you in a certain way, but and you know, she took accountability for it. So I feel like she should just squash the beef, unless y'all want to keep beefing, then that's
Right.
The big A word. The big A word.
accountability.
Yeah, accountability.
Billaries.
Chrisean got done, but Mooncake.
Oh.
Hey, sorry, my audio keeps cutting in and out. When it comes to Chrisean, I don't really like, I guess, have a I kind of feel like Chrisean is not all there, and I kind of feel like she's put into the media. Honestly, I feel like maybe she has like, and this sounds horrible, but maybe like mental deficiencies or something. Just something going on, obviously. And it's like she's out in the media and nobody's like trying to stop it. We're all just kind of like, oh my gosh, like watching, this person who has issues raise a child with another person who has major issues. It's kind of like, you know, when will anybody get involved and say like enough is enough? Is how I just kind of feel about it.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective coming from Canada. I like it. Are
you from Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out. Bam.
I'm saying the real version of what Mooncake just tried to say in a nice way. Chrisean looked like she bite a little bit. like you piss off, she might like like you need a sign on her house.
Called her a pit bull puppy.
No, like being a little bit serious. Like
too close to home.
I think that she felt rightfully. I think it's one thing for the internet to say something. I think it's another thing for someone who you felt like, oh, okay, it reached out and decided to be some level of friend, like feeling like cross you. I can understand her feeling like that's different. Like other people are supposed to laugh at me, but like, you know, we can laugh at each other. Like you could tell me that in person, but doing it for the internet feels like an overstep. And especially feels weird coming from Summer Walker, just because Summer Walker got a lot of ammo herself. It's not like, let's not forget that Summer Walker was out here feeding up baby grass.
It was oat milk, goat milk. What was it?
Either way, it was not nutritious. It was not offering any substance to that baby. And then
not too much on that holisticness.
She also like spit. She was admitted to the public that she likes take spit baths. She said she take off her makeup with spit, like, and
she did. She said it for real.
No, she did.
Yeah, like so I'm like, I don't know. She just, the internet has came for her, so I feel like she should understand that, like, maybe that's
she already said I'll take it down though. Like they already had a conversation about it.
I do want to say Sean is not talking about this anymore, so we don't have to say she need to let it go.
Yeah, she spent all day yesterday talking about it.
Yeah.
That wasn't
look at Shark coming to the rescue.
Yes, for her water.
Okay, hold on. So with what he said about Summer Walker was eating out of a dustpan. Okay, I just want to remind people of that. I did a whole video on that. Like, that was disgusting. I've never seen that before. She ate a meal. It was a nasty meal to eat out of It was a nasty meal to eat out of a dustpan. Like, it was chili cheese fries or like nachos.
But let's
be real. How do you eat that out of a dustpan?
Let's be real. Just because
she dead ass was eating out of a dustpan, bro. There was not a plate. It was a dustpan.
But just because Summer Walker reached out to her, that does not necessarily mean y'all are friends.
I mean, I hadn't even finished my whole statement. Wait, hold on. Before both, stop. Before both of y'all go back and forth, like y'all already did in the chat. Y'all already did this before. I'm still trying to get my shit off. Wait, I got you. So anyway, like I'm trying to say, Chrisean, one, there was a better way to go about coming at Summer Walker. There was a better way to do that. She didn't have to lash out the way that she did. You know what I'm saying? She could have did it a different way. It still got the post taken down, and we could have not known anything. she still could have handled that a totally different way. You know what I'm saying? Because now she looks, she still ends up looking crazy in the public because it looks like the public gassed you up. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's her end goal and that's what she wanted, she could have handled it like an adult and like a professional and like she's somebody that's actually famous. You know what I'm saying? That's what she should. That's how she should have handled it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she's wrong for wanting to get it taken down or having her feelings hurt. I'm saying that the way she went about it was terrible. Like it would just made the situation more messy. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's always acting less than her age. Like at no point is there been any growth like her growing up.
She
Are you
birthed the
speaking
baby on
specifically
live.
about
She does
Chrisean?
everything on the internet. Like I feel like this would be. She don't know
Wait,
how to
did she,
not do
bro?
it for the internet. Yeah, she was on live when she gave birth. Like
She
nothing
was.
is off limits for her.
Hey.
Like
I
she
feel
does
like
everything for the
you're expecting
public.
way too much. I think you're expecting way too much. It's Chrisean we're talking about.
I'm just
Not
saying
No,
this
her,
is
no,
like,
no. That's the
situations.
point.
the
That's
way
the
she
point. We
responds is
need to
pretty
start
on
expecting
brand.
more.
Pretty on brand for her.
We need to hold her to a higher standard so she will
We
move
need to
up
hold
there.
her to her. She needs to hold herself to a higher standard.
She need to hold herself, and we do too. So it pushes her up there because clearly she's influenced by outside people. If people can put a battery in your back and have you yelling
Yeah,
at
but this
somebody on the internet,
situation, I'm gonna come from this angle also. You come from people's kids, they snap. Okay, like I don't have kids, but
You
I
gotta
just
be
know
careful with that. You gotta be careful with that because you have to pick and choose your battles. There's some things like especially when it comes to kids, you can like if you out here running your mouth about my children, I'm gonna go ahead and let you do that because I know what I'm doing for my children and what the fuck you gotta say don't even fucking matter to me because you're not raising my child.
But
So
that's
you have I know that. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But like you have to be you gotta pick your battles on that. Like, oh, I'll go hard, I'll beat anybody up. Like, okay, but why can't you talk it out?
the reason
I
I
hear what
say
you're saying.
the
I
reason
hear
I
what you're
say
saying.
that is because a lot of parents, even if they know their child is doing such and such, and they know their child exhibits the same behaviors, they don't stop it until somebody else addresses it, and that's when they're like, oh, I'm gonna fight about my child. No, you know your child is doing that behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of parents get defensive before they see something is wrong. So in that instance, Chrisean with the baby's head, she was like, "Well, why didn't y'all tell me that?" And I'm like, "Girl, what do you mean? Why didn't we tell you? You fight
But-
people. I'm
But
not.
you also gotta
If I see
realize
you
though.
Walmart, I'm not
Before
telling
we went
you
to the
anything.
stream, we also said that it's obviously that her family also has those deficiencies. So she
Issues,
probably
yeah.
didn't get taught any of that growing up.
Exactly.
But I feel like
That's
the
what I'm
doctor would have told you
No,
before you left
no,
the hospital.
listen,
Like
you're
they
in a
walk through
hospital-
new parents like on
Yeah,
how
go
to
ahead,
like
Dan.
hold babies before you leave a hospital. Like
Bro, have you
even
seen these
haven't had that
celebrity
experience.
doctors, bro?
They do.
I don't feel like she. I feel like she just went to a regular hospital.
She went to a regular hospital on that live, bro.
But
I
you
watched
can't
that
leave a
live for about
hospital.
5 minutes.
You
That was
can't
a
leave
regular
a hospital. Like literally now they make you watch videos. They make you
Y'all think she paid attention to those videos?
no, I don't think so. They
Hell
make
no,
you
she
like
Yeah,
fill out
but she has no
sheets.
excuse. Yeah, like they
They
do
make
try
her
to.
fill out sheets and different stuff. Like they make sure like they're trying to basically no matter how many children you have, they try to like retrain you on how to take care of a baby.
I mean, but honestly, look at the video of her in Walmart. She's just doing too much. She had a dog, a car, just about, and she was doing too much.
She could at least put the dog down.
Some should have got left at home.
I'm just saying, like, you're doing too much to have this newborn with you. Like, you need to. That dog should have stayed at home.
Newborn
I
baby
just
supposed
hope-
to be in like the chest contraption, like a baby. You like baby.
So they have them for
before they put them.
They
in
have
the
them
chest.
for the younger kids, but they also have like the neck support that goes behind the part. She had the one that stopped at the back. But I just hope she gets somebody in her life that she can actually listen to, that she doesn't feel like is always in competition with her or against her. Because
I agree.
Lord,
And I
she
think
had that
that's her
baby doing a
problem.
back bend, Lord.
I think that's her problem. She thinks everyone is so against her because there's been plenty of celebrities who are like, I'm trying to reach out to her, but she doesn't see the positivity.
Because
she wants
clout.
She
Because
wants
she
all
wants
the
clout.
negativity. She wants.
But you have to understand, like, you have to understand when you're a product of your own environment, all you know is negativity. Like, you don't trust anybody. You think everybody is out for you or like doesn't really have the best interest for you.
Because she's probably right. I don't think it's an issue. I think it's an unfortunate issue of the people that choose to take her time are out to get her. From everything I've seen from her, she does seem like a person who has decent intentions. and she seems like a person who like how people saying she has trouble with authority. I actually think she's a follower. Like I think it's the exact opposite, because the way that like Blueface kind of leads her around, or even if she like falls away for a little bit, he can like convince her that like actually you was crazy, you was wrong the whole time. So I actually think that like if a positive person, like if she found a positive person that she respected, like I think she would actually do well at trying to listen to them. And,
they would have to have clout. They would have to have clout.
But I don't know. I just feel like the people that
And
seek
money.
out her like are like the Zeus people, and ain't none of them. They ain't got no good intentions.
Oh, Zeus ain't fucking with her.
They won't.
Zeus ain't fucking with her no more. Not after this season of Baddies East. It don't look like Zeus is really fucking with Chrisean.
She one of they top people.
Man, she keeps the lights on in the building.
Chrisean is the one who ain't fucking with Zeus. It's not the other way around.
Well, it don't matter because she's the way Baddies East is already going without her. They're not missing shit, honestly, because this is the second season she's doing a vibe all the time. That's it, and that she's not bringing nothing new to the fucking show.
Well, I want to piggyback on what he. I'm sorry. What's your name next to me?
Bam.
Bam. I want to piggyback on what Bam said. I think that I see a person with good intentions who's just trying to figure this thing called life out. She's lost. She's a lost soul who's just trying to figure it out. And she's young as hell. I feel like she's eventually going to get it. She just has to get there. And I know I'm not making an excuse for her. I know she's grown and you gotta let her go. No, I see a person with a good heart who just doesn't know what the hell she's doing right now. She needs the right person in her corner.
How many more years does she get?
Who are we to say that? I ain't got
your 20s is like a throwaway. I feel like a lot of
people. No, don't ever.
You can start over like 15 times in your 20s. Like your whole 20s, you can.
But you're gonna be so far behind everybody else who actually were on their shit.
Who worries about that?
That's not what it's about, though. You're never going to progress in life if you look at what other people are doing.
You're never going to progress in life if you constantly think I have 100 redos over and over and over and over.
Well, I mean, she's already found financial success.
Eventually, you're gonna learn. I can't keep. I'm way too old now to keep doing this, exhibiting the same behaviors, repeating the same mistakes. She's gonna get it. Nobody knows when. Because
so what?
She's not that far behind the average 23.
What I would what I would say to that is that normally when people reach that age where they're self-reflecting and like, oh, I can't do this anymore, you've already hit a stage of rock bottom. Not necessarily the rock bottom completely in your life, but you're at a certain bottom in your life to where you're like, oh, let me redo whatever this is that you're working on. You know what I'm saying? Now you're in this rebuild phase, and you didn't even have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Since everybody is doing a rebuild phase, everybody feels like, oh, everybody should go through it. But no, everybody shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that avoid it. You shouldn't have to go through it you shouldn't have to go through it. That shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have to go through it. Some people do this. Some people do.
Yeah, I disagree. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought you was done. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead first.
Oh, no, I disagree. And here's why. I believe that in life is not always going to be easy and good. Like you have to go through storms to get to certain things. That's just a part of life. And I believe that God gives you life and you have free will. And sometimes we just fuck up and we make the wrong decisions and it makes our path crooked or winding, whatever you want to call it, and it makes it a longer road to get there. But every person goes through something. What you go through may be considered small to somebody else, but every single person has to go through something to build them as a person. That's just life. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
You have to have character development.
I just think. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to have a character development. I believe in that. I strongly believe in that. And I like Shar said, it does not have to be as huge as what Chrisean is going to. It could be like a minor thing that is minor to somebody else, but huge to you. And you had to go through it to get to a pivotal point in your life personally. So I really don't believe that there's this, I don't think 20s are throwaways either, but I think you have time to make those mistakes because I know plenty of people in their 40s who were like, I wish I would have realized that when I was younger. Right. And I'm way more, I'm in counterpart to people who are around my age. I feel like I'm up there, but at the same time, I'm like, everybody has to go through their own ways. Everybody has to go through something in their life to get to that point, and I can't compare. I can't compare it all.
Okay, so Mooncake, what was you finna
I
say?
just think it kind of also stems from like, really think a lack of like male influence. And when I say that, like a good father figure, because I think part of her is searching for like a father figure in these men, especially like Blueface, which I know sounds probably crazy, but it's the fact she keeps going back. So that tells me I think there's like a piece missing there, that she's like looking for confirmation in these men. Especially now, like she has this baby, she was doing like getting those tattoos of him. So I think she was like searching for that acceptance. And then you have to throw like fast money, drugs, like this whole new lifestyle at a really young age that I can't even imagine, right? You're partying every day, you're drinking every day, you're doing things that maybe you wouldn't usually do. And let's just like couple that with probably mental illness. It's just a recipe for disaster. And I think at some point, it's Chrisean's going to realize it's on her to change her surroundings. So this is never going to change until she does something.
Right. She's going to want
I honestly think it would take her maybe even losing her kid to like CPS or something for her to realize what the hell's going on.
Sometimes that should be happening.
Disagreeing with
y'all, Ebony up here wanted to see. He been waiting a while.
I mean, I knew he was next.
I'm just looking at her.
I didn't even get a chance to say it, like that.
I just know how it is when you fighting to get a word and everybody else keep talking. That's all I know how it is.
I was just agreeing with her. Just nodding in agreement.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said.
All right, you good, King? Or you still fixing your lips, man?
What? He said, hold on.
Let me got going on?
Let me moisturize.
Hey, but my lips felt like they was about to fall off. I had to.
Ooh.
But y'all know I like to write stuff down. So going back to whole like learning from your mistakes type thing, right? I wasn't raised in like a productive family, like mother, father, household. I was raised by my grandmother, and she raised like 16 kids at once. So I didn't get that direct focus until I joined the military, and I got mentors, right? So the whole learning from your mistakes, I don't think it always applies, because one thing that my mentor always put into me, like, I made mistakes and so you don't have to go through these, right? I can show you my experience, what I did and how you overcome them if you ever get in these situations or fight these battles, right? And I think that comes from her not having, or like what Mooncake said, the proper male figure in the household, parents, friends, mentors. Because when you don't have that in your life, you are going to have to go through a lot of battles that you don't need to go through. Everybody there's nothing new under the sun, right? Everybody has experienced almost anything that has happened. It's happened before. There's people out there who knows how to get over it, who knows how to deal with it. You just got to communicate and get in touch with those people. And yeah. I forgot what else I had to say. I was waiting for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's something. What you're saying is like more ideal. Like, yeah, it would be perfect if everyone could just like listen to the elders, hear from their mistakes, and like I'm gonna take a different route. But some people don't work that way. Some people need to actually have like go through an experience to develop. Like, and it also depends on
that's what it was. That's
yeah. It also depends on the like the situation you're dealing with, because like I actually think there are a lot of new things. There's a lot of new perspectives. Like there's no adult, there's no one 40 plus on earth who could tell you what it's like growing up in the social media age. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's more access to cameras, there's more access to like they don't even understand the concept of like, oh, how do you make money? She makes money by like doing these things that we're calling toxic. These are the things that make her a celebrity. These are the things that she's constantly in the public eye. Like this is also how she provides for that baby that that we're talking about. So I think it's a complicated line to go down, because part of like a big part of the way that she has become like a 23-year-old that I don't know how wealthy he is, but she's clearly financially stable, like is connected to some of these antics. So people are saying like, oh, stop doing that. But it like, these things are actually working for her in a way that like you couldn't, like people probably told her in the past wasn't going to happen. Like she's proving people wrong in that regard. So like it seems like, in her head is like the wrong, bad advice to take. Like y'all said this wasn't gonna work, but here I am doing better than you. And I think that like the other part of that is like we can say like, oh, she's doing so bad, she's doing this, but honestly I feel like I don't remember being 23 or like I remember being 23, 22, like, and I know a lot of people who like were doing the same or worse than her for none of the money. So I don't think that she's as far behind the curve as we like to like say she is. I think that she still has time to like, still has a lot of time to develop. Like when I say 20s is a throwaway, I don't mean that like anything things don't like impact you later, but I'm saying that like there is a lot of time to find your lane. There's a lot of time to develop, and like I think that we're in, like I said, part of us as viewers in the social media's age is we want her as a person to develop in like this hyper speed, this like probably not necessary. Like she Chrisean at 28, 29, 32 hopefully is going to be, a dramatically different person. And like I said, Chrisean at 23.
But
I see love and hip hop in her future.
When do we kind of say like enough is enough, especially with people like Chrisean? Because even like being 23, I think a lot of us do know right from wrong, even at that age. I'm 25 now, and I think back to like 2 years ago, and I'm like, and I guess it is different, but the things that she does, like I just couldn't imagine maybe a lot of 20-year-olds and up doing. Especially being 23, that's very far, at least in my eyes, from 18. And once again, it's just personal responsibility, right? She will regret these things later on in life. Even if she makes a ton of money from it, I do really think she's going to regret it. And a lot of these people don't even keep that money that they get from this, right? We see them waste all the time. They're not investing or doing things like that. I'm not saying she can't, but didn't she already have that issue that she was quote unquote owning that house, but she was actually renting it and then like not making rental payments or something? So I think these are all things we have to consider. And I think what she does is also a detriment to the Black community itself. I think she just makes us look bad. And I think that's something that I wish we would take more seriously, just not promoting these people or their antics, especially with the baby thing in Walmart is absolutely ridiculous. I just wish we wouldn't even like promote it.
I don't think Chrisean goes outside of the Black community. Like when we say like the idea of like making Black people look bad. Do you think the average you go white person down the street, hey, what you think about Chrisean Rock? They're gonna say, who is that?
Yeah,
right. I don't.
The average young person, the average young Caucasian person, 100%, right?
Maybe a 10.
You got maybe like
some
bro. No. But you got to think about the population that listens to, that our community reaches, right?
Like the analytics are out on Zeus. Zeus is like 93% Black subscribers.
No, but
I'm not talking about just Zeus.
It's not about Zeus. It's about social media in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, is the Shade Room all Black followers? I would contend like, no, it is not. When you go to Neighborhood Talk, it's not all Black. When you go down all these social media pages, it's not all Black. And hell, it's not even Black people owning them at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Matter, but
but I'm saying that to say this. Our stuff is reaching outside of our community. Like bar none, it is. There's no way you get into multi-million views and you're not reaching that other community. It's not possible.
Not
and
just that,
people
but social
like
media,
seeing
bro. You
the
got to think
whole
about
like
Twitter,
Black
Instagram.
women like fighting thing. They like seeing that. People of other races, they love seeing that stuff, right?
Guilty.
You can make an argument. I think you could make that argument with Sexy Red. I feel like she's reached a level of stardom, but I don't like. I don't know. I consider,
but she's not as bad as Chrisean.
New
Sexy
York.
Sexy Red, low key.
I consider these very community things that like we talk about. They're like, oh yeah, maybe some 14-year-old on TikTok talks about. But like I said, I don't see the Shade Room having like a 60% white follower count. Like,
bro, I'm thinking of colleges.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, but that's just my opinion.
Listen, the moment this older dude walked into my office and he knew what we was talking about, I knew that was a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an older Hispanic guy. Yes, he's Hispanic, but he still knew. So that let me know there's market penetration going on.
He's cultured. That's
you think people are holding her like the spokesperson of Black women?
Cultured doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, that it still had to reach him somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did this? Why is he following our pages?
I want to say.
Okay.
So she just did a huge viral song. Y'all can hate the song. I don't give a damn. The point is, she did a song with this 18-year-old rapper called Lil Mabu.
We was just talking about that.
Mabu.
He's a
And
white
he's a white dude.
Oh,
Mabu.
he's
Mabu.
18. I thought he was like in his 20s.
Oh no, that's a
No,
baby.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, he's
18.
young.
But
He's
the
still in
point
high
is,
school, I think.
she did a song with him, and it has 12 million views in 12 days. He's a white artist, so if they didn't know her now, they definitely know her now with that many views.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta also understand, Lil Mabu, he's been played with like Chirac rappers and like
I know, I understand that, but what I'm saying is my point is, if you thought that she didn't have that kind of reach because of that song, she definitely has that reach now. They weren't talking about her before, they are now.
I mean,
Well-
she's all over Fashion Nova and their
Yes,
promo
yes.
stuff.
When she
Fashion
drops another record by
Definitely.
herself, I will maybe give her some cookies. But until then, that was a feature. So
And Mabu, like
She has
honestly,
a
the
very
type of people who
large
engage with his content, like are like these aren't the opinions that I'm concerned with. To be completely honest with you, I'm just gonna say like I said, that's the 12-year-old on TikTok that I was saying I don't care about. That's who engages with Lil Mabu.
I also got a point that I wanted to go back to about the whole hard times and having to make your own mistakes, right? I think as a parent, like it's incumbent upon you. Like we grew up harder than the generation that is currently here. Well, for us who is 30 and up. I think it's important as a parent that once you reach a certain level of success, you teach certain things to your kids because they're not going to experience, like my kids ain't gonna be living in the hood. My kids not gonna have to experience having to get certain stuff out of the mud, right? But I'm gonna put them in a situation to understand that everything you do has a cost to it, right? Life is not life. Life does not cater to you, right? The world owes you nothing. You're not gonna come out of my household thinking that just because my dad got it, my dad make money, my dad is this type of man, my dad does this, that, the world is gonna treat you the same way. And so I'm not gonna treat you that way. So I'm gonna make life not hard for you, but I'm gonna make it so that you understand that you have to operate in a certain space. I'm gonna make it hard for you to get certain things. So when you get in the world where there is competition, you're gonna know I'm gonna demolish this person because my dad and my mom, they gave me these values growing up. So I know I have the tools that once I get there, I'm already ahead of the curve. Now I'm not saying, and because like us giving out this whole 20s, I'm not trying to jump on you with this. The 20s is like a what you call it?
Yeah, it's a throwaway. You can
like
the mistakes you
we
make.
do that, and then when we step back and look at everybody in the world, and we see the gap between the Black community and every other community, we call it all other things instead of what it is, right? We could have 100% prepared our kids for the future, but we give them this space of saying your 20s is your fun time when every other community, their parents are on their head saying you need to get this done. Like you need to make sure you're hitting certain milestones. And when they're 20, 25, 26, and they're part owner in a company, or they have their own business, or they're somewhere in life, right? We say, oh, their family got them there, or this happened for them, or this happened for them, when we still give ourselves in the Black community, oh, you have this time space to play around, or you have this time space to have fun. Like it's an excuse.
Can I respond first just because he says directly to me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is a myth. I think that Black people have taught ourselves to make ourselves feel worse than what's really happening. When I think the biggest difference between Black people and other races of people is actually we're not given the space to make mistakes. If you grow up, young Black kids, like if they turn 14, maybe they try to steal from a store, maybe they get involved in the wrong crowd, and now they get put into some sort of youth detention center, which puts them on the pathway from the prison, the school to prison pipeline. Like they get out, they already got this mark against their character on their record, and they just get worse and worse involved in the game. The thing that happens with in particular white people, but other races of people, is they're like if they have so many chances to restart, so many chances to make mistakes, so many chances to do things and come back from them because they have a family support system that gives them space for that. You know how many like 19 to 20-year-old white girls decide they're in the middle of college, you know what, I'm taking a gap year, I'm gonna go backpacking through Europe. Like they end up having drug problems, their parents put them to rehab, and then they turn up at 28, 29, 32 with 2 kids, you know, a doctor or a lawyer, or, you know, working in some company because they had a friend that, you know, gave them opportunity, and they go on to live the rest of their lives having all their marriage successful.
So
these
what do
people
you do
aren't
with that now?
that much harder work.
So what do you do with that now? Now that you have that information, right? What do you do with that? If you know that there's a gap that they're able to do these certain things, do you still push?
No,
your 20s is your fun years, or do you say like, because the Arab community, they're not going to. Let me be clear. I'm saying in America, right? They're not going to be like, if an Arab child robs a, not even Arab, let's say a Sudanese kid, right? They're still black in America, but somebody robs something, right? A lot of them families, when they first get here, they don't have that either. So they don't give their kids that space to, you can do this and this is acceptable, this is okay. No, African families, when they come over here, they're grinding. Now, granted, there are certain spaces that black people who are not originally from America, when they come over here, there are certain spaces that they have more access to than us. I 100% agree with you on that. But with that information, am I going to still allow my kids to have that gap to just do whatever? No, I'm on your head, and it's for your betterment. And your younger years are not for you to necessarily like me or be in love with me. Because when you look back, you're going to be like, you know, I appreciate you for putting me in this role, because like now I can support my family. Like, I don't have to be one of those 50-50 guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be somebody who my wife now looks at me and I'm probably going through X amount of divorces and all this stuff, right? You're going to look at me and be like, I'm happy that you instilled this in me, opposed to Chrisean, right? I don't like, that's not something I want to look back as a father and be like, I'm proud that I created this. I don't care how much money you make in this space. Like, I never want my daughter to be in a light like that.
I got a response, but I'll let y'all go first.
Okay.
Hold on. I got a lot to say. I'm over here writing notes now, like Ebony.
She's trying to get like me.
Because I was going to forget everything. So I want to start with saying, of course, we can make generalizations, but obviously everyone was raised differently. My parents didn't give me room to make errors or mistakes. And when I did, I felt like it was the end of the world. And so because of that, I'm a perfectionist and I hate making mistakes. So at a certain point, you have to find that balance between, okay, you're allowed to live in your 20s as a throwaway years, whatever we call it. And then also, okay, but you also have to make certain mistakes to learn to get to where you need to be, right? With that, also, I want to say that I feel like our generation, when I say our generation, I'm talking about 30 plus, or maybe just all the generations below our parents. I always call us the generational curse breakers. So the things that we are doing is undoing the things that we were taught from our parents' generation, because they were only raising us the best way they could from the previous generation. So the tools that they had were the best that they could do with. So yes, we didn't have opportunity to certain things, like Becky and Phil had internships as soon as they graduated from college and stuff like that. No, we didn't have access to things like that because they didn't know that those kind of resources and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So they were doing the best they could with what they had. Which is why I also say that Chrisean is a product of her own environment. She is doing what she was taught. She grew up a very toxic, dark childhood, and everything that she's doing is a reflection of that. So it's unfortunate, but that's the kind of family she comes from. That's all she knows. Am I saying that she can't learn to come out of that? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the point that I'm making between the way I was raised and my parents instilled in me to make the right decisions, and I still made all the right decisions, and I still got stuck on this path where nothing in life worked out for me, and I did all the right things, and I still had to go through the storm and I feel like, why is life against me? Because I did everything my parents told me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is still gonna have odds stacks up against you. It doesn't matter what points you follow or what uh uh feedback you get from mentors or parents or whatever, or which way to go. That's all I'm saying.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
So I always, me and Whitney always have this conversation, right? Because she has an older child and I'm just starting with my 4-year-old. And I always tell her, because coming from same experience with you, Shar, I'm an African child and an immigrant, right? So my mom was like, you can't make any mistakes. You cannot have anything less than an A when you come into this house. You cannot fail, right? So I'm a perfectionist and I have anxiety now. And so like when something doesn't go my way, even though my mom has given me all this stuff and she's like, you can't do this and you can't do that, and it sometimes has a negative aspect. And what me and Whitney always talk about is I tell her, you can give your children all the tools to be successful, but they have to be an individual and go through their own path. Because no matter what, like these, for instance, white children, they come from a family with a silver spoon and their parents are successful and nepotism and all this type of stuff, but they still fuck up, excuse my French. And when they do, it's like you get a getaway, you get a free card and you get to start over. And it's like with Black children, it's like a lot. Well, in my experience, a lot of kids were like, well, I can't do this. My parents want me out of the hood, so that means I have to be successful. I have to be a ball player, something, right? I cannot mess this up. I can't mess this opportunity up. So we don't have those type of opportunities. And yes, you should still teach your children, hey, when you know, I'm going to give you these tools, but at the same time, your children can veer all the way left. There are children who grew up with both their mother and father, and still do not have all of it together in societal terms or how society defines being put together as an adult.
Okay, so cool. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. Taking risks and making mistakes are different. Okay, I believe their families allow them to take more risks and support them in taking those risks than actually making a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they hold their child accountable for making said mistakes and they forgive them, just like Black households. We do the same things with mistakes. However, when it comes to actually taking risks and actually doing something to actually better yourself, and your parents and the people around you are unfamiliar with it, we're more inclined to actually clown you for actually trying something different, because for you to actually taking that risk, than we are for you to actually support you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to literally prove to people that you're not going to stop, and then they finally look at you and go, you know what? Hey, this is actually doing pretty good. This is actually all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I believe that's the difference, and I think that's maybe the disconnect with Chrisean is it's not necessarily that people are upset with her taking the risk and actually doing that and becoming successful risk wise. People are just like upset at the number of mistakes when you have the time and resources and opportunity to maybe slow down just a little bit, not a lot, just enough to self-reflect and go, okay, maybe I can do this and this differently. Maybe I could think about this a little bit more. And it's just about progression. Nobody's asking for her to change completely overnight. We're just asking for her to just start making steps in the right direction. That's it. That's all. How do y'all feel about 50-50 men versus traditional men, though?
Can you give us more background on what, like, the backstory on this?
Can you play the video in the chat? Can you play the video?
Nah, it's from their YouTube video, man. They got hit with something. Somebody else's thing got hit because they played the whole thing. Like,
Instagram video, but
no,
I posted the Instagram post and the video.
There's a whole YouTube video that is from.
Yeah.
So they were having a conversation.
I seen their page. They tagged the page at the bottom.
Tell the audience that's watching, like, what we're talking, like, specifically we're talking about. Like, can you give us a summary?
Oh yeah. So yeah. So so there was a man that believes in a 50-50 relationship, and there was a man that believes in a traditional relationship where a man fully provides for his woman sitting on a couch and they were having a discussion. I don't know how they color coordinated the shirts. Like
Right.
that
That was
kind of threw
cute.
me off. That threw me off. That threw
was
me off a bit. And I'm like, why buddy in shorts like this? He couldn't wear jeans, he couldn't wear no pants. Like you making him look extra broke for this.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
So
Like
I don't think he necessarily believed in it because he kept talking about like I got this job that don't pay much, you know, I ain't got no choice but to go 50-50. So I don't know if he necessarily believed in it,
yeah,
but that's where he was in life.
I got some things.
Yeah.
I don't know
So with that being said, the guy that was the rich man or the traditional man in that instance, he was trying to speak life into the brother and actually tell him like, hey, you could do more, you could be more. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it sucks. I know it sucks. I've been where you are. But if you don't course correct right now, you're not going to get to where I am. And he was speaking out of love and wanted him to get to where he was. That was
not
it.
sound like the conversation we just had though.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I know. For men, it's different. But that's a whole nother thing in itself. But needless to say, the 50-50 guy was taking defense to it, which I understand because you don't want to be seen as less of a man. But at the same time, you have to just hold that L and be like, okay, I have to push myself to get better. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about accountability. Once the traditional man told dude, hey, it's time, you need to a man can't be a man without taking accountability. And he had pushback for that. I said, all right. I said, you let me know everything I need to know about you.
Absolutely.
But that's a hard fact.
Yeah. Can I go first on this one?
Go ahead.
And me after him.
I think that every time these conversations happen, like this conversation is 100% about people with egos. I like, and like not just men, women, like it's all about trying to fulfill fulfill their own ego and trying to uphold something that society is like told them they're supposed to be. Like the reality is, like, I live in a place I live in a place where housing is way more financially affordable than it is in like other places. Like if I lived in San Francisco or if I lived in like Manhattan, you know, where rent's, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, like, and I'm in a relationship with someone who's with two people who are working full time, like, we're just gonna have to break down the finances and figure out what makes sense for us to live the best, most like sustainable life. That's the only thing that should matter at the end of the day. But men feel like men who actually do the traditional role and pay for everything, typically, at least the ones who talk on the internet, all they do is complain about the idea that they have to do all of these roles, and this is because they're going through this hardship that they like put themselves under. They somehow get to control women because of that, and I don't think that's like I just don't understand the point of that. Like, whether you're 50-50 or traditional, like, it's all going to depend on the circumstances of your relationship, where y'all are sitting financially, and what your goals are for the future. Because if she does, like, if you're with someone and she does have a job and she does, you know, work full time and makes money, like, it would be dumb for that money not to be going towards something. Whether that be, like I said, whether that be bills, whether that be savings, whether that be a future investment. Like, what is she working for if it's not going towards the household? And if she's not working, like, what is the reason behind it? Like, are your kids at an age where they need, you know, a full-time stay-at-home mom? Like, is she happy with this situation? Or is she kind of sitting at the house bored and would rather have her own money? Like, it just seems like people who aren't having conversations and communicating in their relationships. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this. The men who keep this debate going are the ones who ain't got it. That may piss some people off. I don't care. The only time I ever see a man going in and getting triggered in comments on Facebook and on TikTok, wherever, are the men who cannot afford to do the traditional male role. And that's what I've seen from my timelines. And it's got to a point where I don't know, this debate resurfaces like every couple of months. It's like
right. Just
over and over and over again. I'm like, dang, why are y'all mad at? It sounds like you're choosing the wrong woman. Go choose a woman who's okay with what you want. If you want to go 50-50, go find a 50-50 woman. If you want to take care of the woman, go find a woman who wants to be taken care of. But instead, y'all getting the woman who wants to work and trying to turn her into the traditional woman and get mad when she don't want to do that. That's the problem here. Go choose who wants to be chosen by you and is okay with the decision that you make. That's all I got.
You better preach.
Go ahead.
I agree. I do agree with that. I will say 100% agree. Choose who chooses you, and make sure y'all on the same like pathway. And I do agree. Somebody said earlier that 50-50 doesn't 50-50 something about makes you less of a man or something. Like I don't think 50-50 makes you less of a man. It's like you said, it depends on what y'all agree with, as long as y'all on the same path. But I don't think men who have this conversation, well, not all, let me say some dudes who have this conversation, they don't have it, right? And that is probably their internet troll guys who like they're all in the comment section. Some of those dudes are like that, right? I think some men do it just to express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all gonna kill me for this.
Ooh.
Ooh. Trigger warning.
Yeah, come on, because I only got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Okay,
You should.
Okay.
You don't. If you know that you want to be traditional, but you ain't got the finances for it, don't get in no relationship. Work on yourself.
Exactly.
Focus on yourself, Ryan. Like stop getting in relationships because you just stay single.
Yeah.
But I don't think that all men who pay 100% just like I think you said somebody they get on the internet and complain.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more so teaching from what they've learned from, and also the control thing. Like that word is triggering to me because I come from a religious aspect, I guess, right? You can't have responsibility for something that you don't have some sort of authority over. I'm not going to put my life on the line for you if you're going to be reckless with your life, right? You're not going to throw me in a situation where I could lose my life based on your actions if I'm supposed to protect you, right? So if I tell you, if we're married, right? I'm in my spouse, and I tell you, hey, babe, you shouldn't go to this place, right? Because I don't feel like it's going to be safe for you. But you argue with me, like I'm going anyways. And then I end up having like what happened in Tampa. 2 people just lost their lives. Now I got to come in this situation. I'm in a position where I could potentially lose my life because you chose not to listen to me, right? I'm probably going to leave you. We're probably going to get a divorce because I can already see I'm Muslim. It's same for Christians, same for whatever other religion normally, right? If you don't trust my leadership skills, you don't trust me being the husband of the Quran or the Bible or whatever, don't marry me. Don't marry me. And I don't care if we're getting married and we decide to be traditional and I don't have a lot of money, but you still chose to go down this route with me. And then you get on social media and you see all these chicks on social media who are married to men who are above my status. Don't start trying to be like them. Because if you know we ain't got it like that, stop trying to reach up there. And if you want to leave me. Leave me. Simple as that. Leave me.
Well,
I do just want to say one thing to what you said. I didn't say the men who had money were the ones that were complaining. I was saying the ones who don't have the money are the ones who see, to me on my timelines, are the ones that are complaining and they get online and they drag women. How dare you want a man to take care of you? Like, at least what I see on my timeline.
I said the ones who have it complain. That's that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
the ones who have to be traditional. Like
gotcha.
I won't be in
first offense of the world. People just like they talk about being rich, but then like everything talk about it's so hard being a man. I have to pay all the bills. I have to take care of a household. I have to be a protector.
Yeah, those
but
dudes got problems.
Those men to be any other way, like they will say, I would never be that any other way. Yeah.
Those dudes got problems. Like if you're going to get married and you know that there's going to be a traditional household and you start complaining about it, bro, why? Why are you getting married then? Like if it's your job, you're a husband. Right? You're supposed to provide, protect, teach. Like, why are you getting married if you can't fulfill that? Now, I'm not saying everyone has to do that. You guys, whatever you establish is yours. But for me, as a man, if you're getting married, that's your job.
Period.
Just to like jump in there, when it comes to like traditional men, I don't know. It's like maybe just because it's like 2023, and when I hear traditional, I think of like the red pillars that we obviously see every day. But I think it's gotten to a point where when I hear traditional, I feel like we also think of the men who are kind of like, oh yeah, be traditional, but you can't spend this amount of money, right? You can't really go shopping when you want to, but you expect your wife to stay at home. And I do think we do also see a lot of that, and them being on like a certain, what's the word, like under financial suppression, if that makes sense, because they can't just leave, right? They have to use his money all the time. And I just think we're moving in a direction where, in my eyes at least, 50-50 makes it easier. So when both of you are doing whatever for the household, it's both of your house. These are both of your problems, right? I don't, and maybe just because I'm young, but I like to share housework. So I don't want to be the one doing the dishes every day, right? If you see the dishes, come on, jump in there, do the dishes. I don't know if like having specific roles exactly works anymore for most people. I know for some people it does, but I don't know. I think we're moving towards a different time. And I actually kind of prefer like the 50-50, like the partnership,
I was just about to ask you
instead
to
of
chime
the.
Yeah, Whitney, go ahead.
It's
I
my
was waiting. I was hoping you were going to respond to this. I would
well,
love to hear your thoughts on this.
The
I
soft girl
mean,
era.
I guess I guess my husband is considered a traditional man because I'm a stay-at-home mom and he works and he provides and he pays all the bills. I wouldn't say that we're financially suppressed because with us being at home, the men understand that we have needs as well. Well, at least my husband. I don't know about everybody else's husband. All I can speak for is my husband, that he knows that I have needs and I have wants. Yes, majority of the time he gives me my needs instead of my wants. So no, there's not a time where I can just sit there and just go shop and just grab his credit card and go do that. No, I have to also respect that he's paying the bills, and whatever money I take out, that can be taken from a bill and we can be fucked for the whole month. So it's like really it's like it's not a, I would say like a suppression. I would say it's like it's kind of, you have to be financially smart too, even though you're not working, and if you do get money or you don't get money, you still got to be financially smart as well as a stay-at-home mother, because he's the main source of income and you can't fuck that up, because if you fuck up the main source of income, that means he has to work 10 times harder to get it back.
Well, that's what makes me nervous too, is that just because like if we're being honest, right, we don't know if like our husbands or partners will always be healthy, right?
Mhm.
So you're put in that scenario where it's like, okay, I have to save, I have to do this because something really could happen, which you should do anyways.
Mhm.
But I do think it impacts you because now you only have like that sole provider, right? If something was
Right.
to happen, it's like, oh no, I haven't worked in so long. How am I going to find a
Mhm.
job? What am I going to do? And I think that's what makes me nervous. So maybe that's why I'm just like, yeah,
Oh yeah,
work, work,
no,
work
that's cool.
until. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
no,
go ahead.
no, that's awesome. But I'm just saying, like, it literally, like, I would say it's like I said, you gotta be financially smart with the man. And if anything happened to my husband, and that's what I was going to say. It starts with the communication, because that we have a communication. Well, we talk about that. If something happened to him and he can't bring no money in, what am I going to do? How can I step in to help with my family as well? Because that means I'm going to have to take the reins. So it's really talking it out with your partner, because yes, things like that happen. And if you're married and he's a sole provider, you make sure you get life insurance. Okay, you make sure you get life insurance. That's not even
Multiple,
shade. That
You should do
multiple.
Yes,
that.
that's not
Everybody
even
should do that.
shade. That's for real,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because if he gone, what am I going to do? I can't just sit there and find a job within the week. No, I need something to sit on for a minute to figure out what I'm going to do with myself and my children. So that's all I'm
And
saying. Love you guys. I got to go cook for my family while I'm talking shit. So after
All right. See ya.
I don't
and
think
that
that like I don't think that like there's it's weird. Like
This
from
now.
in my last relationship, I was, I guess, the traditional person. Like I ended up paying all the bills, but that was directly related to the amount. That was just financially. It was like it made sense financially. I made most of the money. She wasn't working whenever we first got together. Like she moved into my place that I was already like paying for the bills by myself in. So I just continued to do so. Then when she found work, it was like, oh, okay, you make significantly less than me. Like it is what it is, as far as like just a dating relationship, but never like never with that did I take any authority with it. Like I never felt like I had any control over her, and I never felt like I didn't have to participate in the household. I still cleaned. She cooked more than me. I typically did grilling. That's my thing. Even though I can cook, but That was just one of the things that she enjoyed doing. It's laundry. We did that. We each did our own laundry separately. So like, I don't think that, I don't think that just because you make a decision to like that you're going to be this financial person that you're like now you have the authority over her or over the relationship. Because just like your example giving that like, oh, okay, I don't, if I don't want her to go somewhere dangerous. What if she told you like, hey, don't go there dangerous? If you don't go, does that mean that now she run you, or was that just like communicating with your partner and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Let me not put myself in that position.
So for
Wait,
me, my bad. Go ahead. I
before
thought you
y'all
asked me a
go,
question directly.
Oh yeah,
That's the
she
only reason I
hasn't
was
she hasn't
answering.
went at all
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. Let's
before
let
y'all
go.
go,
It's something you said that I want to respond to, but go
Wait,
ahead. You have
let's let go. Yeah.
yeah,
I
before
know.
y'all
I'm
go.
letting go. I'm just saying. There's something you said I want to respond to.
Okay, so before what you who was saying this? Anyways, what I'll just give what my standpoint is. I think everything is circumstantial, right? I think you have to take into account your circumstance with your partner and decide whether you want to be traditional or whether you want to do the 50-50 thing. And I think what scares people about the traditional role is that um they don't people don't necessarily talk about the gender roles inside of the household. Like, if I don't do the dishes, are you going to do the dishes? If I don't change the child, are you going to do, things like that? And I think that's what scares people. When they hear traditional man, they're like, oh, he doesn't contribute inside the household. He just works and that's all he does. And then I'm the housewife and I take care of the children and I take care of the house and everything like that. He doesn't help with anything else. So I just feel like it's circumstantial. And I think in our day and age now, we're moving towards making our own definitions of what we want in our relationships, how we want each other to maneuver and things like that. So that's all I wanted to say. You can go ahead, Char.
Okay, so because there's something you said about just because you make the money doesn't mean that like you're the decision maker, you control everything. So I wanna touch on that. So I grew up Christian. I don't identify with Christianity anymore, but I grew up Christian. And in the Christian household, the man is the head of the household. Um, and so basically that means that they are the leader. Like they're the ones that makes all the decisions. And when you marry that person, you trust that they are going to make the right decisions. So when you are leaning on them to make those decisions, it's not necessarily that they're in control, it's that you trust that they are making the best decisions for your household. So it's not necessarily a control thing. It's more so when they say I'm looking for the right word. I guess trust and believing that your partner will make. I can't think of the correct terminology right now, but basically you are showing your love by saying, hey, I recognize that this decision you make is the best for us. So I don't necessarily see it as a control thing. Now there are controlling men who do abuse it, and when they are put in those positions, that's not a leader. That is a controlling person. But I don't see leadership and control as the same thing.
Like I think people never apply this to like people apply this to like little things, but people never apply it to like big things. If I would never with my partner come home and say like, hey, get the boxes packed. We moving to Missouri next week. Like this just is what it is. Like get on board. Like that's a conversation you have to have as a family. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I found this job opportunity. Like, we might make a little more money, but we're gonna be farther away from family. How will that affect you? And like to me, like big decisions, like we can say there's a leader, but I don't think so. I think it's something we have to work through together. And honestly, for a lot of things that happen in the household, like a lot of men don't even necessarily have to say over picking out furniture, things like that. Like I'm more of a like interior design. I enjoy things like that. So like me and my girl, we like did it together. But like I definitely lean into her perspective if she knows a little more than me. Like, oh no, these colors go better together, or like, oh, this I think we need to get this for the house. Like, I think this would be cute. And I'm like, huh, okay, that makes sense. And I like appeal to her. Like, I don't know. I just feel like relationships don't have to be as complicated as we make them out.
All right.
Wait,
So
wait,
here's wait. No, hold on.
No, because
So
I just
listen,
want you to put that comment up. Put that on the screen.
this one?
That's a good one. That's a
okay.
good one.
All right. With any woman who was able to support herself and only
You gonna read that loud?
Traditional. I mean, I was trying to read it out loud, but then I didn't. I didn't really want to at the same time. Only go traditional with a man who has experience doing housework for himself. A personal understanding of both roles are needed.
Interesting perspective.
All right. So what I want to
I agree.
say that, and I want to correct a little bit, is this: the man has, as a leader, has final decision, not
Yeah,
all the decision. He has final decision. That means he
yeah,
should be listening to his
yes.
wife, because that's what she's there for. She's there to provide that wisdom and that female's perspective.
Thank you. I was gonna say
That's
that.
why, yeah, it's final decision, not. And I think a lot of people assume leadership is like authoritarian, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not. A good leader actually listens to the
Mm-hmm.
counsel of the people below him. That's why a captain has a first mate and an engineer and somebody, and so on, so on, and so on, and so on, and so forth. You can't.
Yes.
He can't run the ship by himself, but he can. He's wise enough to make all the correct decisions with the information provided by his team. And the wife
Yeah.
and the children, they are part of the team.
I feel like you
Yes.
niggas are
Thank
just
you
making
for
up
saying
these
that.
So
terms. I don't think none
no,
of
no,
this is
no,
real.
no.
No,
I
that's
100% agree.
real.
Like that's in any. You think about in military aspect, right? You have battalion commanders, right? Your command sergeant major is your advisor, your senior advisor, right? You at the end of the day, you're the final say so, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to listen to the feedback that they give you, right? I'm like, again, going back to religion, I'm a Muslim man, right? So I will be the leader of my household. That does not mean I will never listen to my wife when it comes to things that we do, right? And 9 times out of 10, she's going to be the first person I listen to before I do anything. But she also understands, like, if we get to a final decision, I'm going to be the one biting that bullet, because one, the responsibility that comes from making that decision, I'm going to 100% own, right? But at the same time, I'm never going to just go out on the branch and be like, bump my wife, I'm just do this, whatever. That's not a that's a horrible leader to begin with, right? That's 100% a horrible leader. If you're the type of person who does that, you're not a leader. You're actually what's the word that they use for that?
A dictator.
Yeah, sure, a dictator, right? And if you, and that, like, I think people confuse though, like a traditional man, and they automatically assume that a traditional man is just this hard go, no shit. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to do what I want. It's what I say, and then that's it. That's not a traditional man. That's toxic.
But see, the reason that y'all are still so attached to this term, this is why I say it's all ego. I think women have an ego that like to say that, like, ooh, I'm with a man that take charge and take care of me, and then the man like, yeah, I'm the leader of the household. But if you did all those exact same things that you did, what you consider makes a healthy relationship, and you called it a partnership, you said that, oh yeah, me and my wife talked through this together and we came to a decision. Like, nothing would change about that dynamic. Like what you're describing is a partnership.
Even a partnership has a leader,
is attached to saying that, like, I'm in charge. It's something.
Even a partnership has
trying to fulfill.
I think it's religious for me. It's religious. I don't think it's an ego thing, right?
Yeah.
For me, I am commanded by God to lead my family, so I take that responsibility and I run with it. And I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure my family's taken care of, right? It's not an ego thing, it's more of a responsibility that was given to me. So I'm not, and at the same time, I'm not gonna be with somebody, like, if I know that me and you are not compatible in that way, and if you want to be 50-50, you're gonna have to find you another man, baby. It ain't me. So I think it's maybe an ego for some guys, especially some of these new red pill guys. It 100% may be ego. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not a red pill guy. I think they say some things correct? Sure. But dude, some of those guys are weird. Some of those guys are weird.
If let's say your girl is better with money than you. Let's say that she's just like you learn that's something, like, when it comes to putting things in accounts, when it comes to making sure things is taken care of financially. Let's say she's just better at that than you. Are you the leader of the finances, or is she not the leader of the finances? Like, what word are we attaching to this?
Let me give it to you this right here. I'm the leader of the household. I'm the leader of the family. Mm-hmm. Just because she is good with finances does not make her the leader of the family. Mm-hmm. Right? So yeah, I'm be honest with you. That's one thing I want, because I have my own business. I want my wife to be good with finances, because if she can take a burden off of me, if you can do the books, you can make sure our taxes are good. You can do all this. Like that would be amazing.
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna fall in love with you quick, but also I don't think marriage is solely based on love.
So what happens if you hit an impasse? Because you like I said, y'all are grown men. Y'all done put y'all foot down. You got the final say, and she just feels like you driving us off a cliff. No, I'm holding you accountable to the ego that you're to the
no.
ego that you're
I'll meet you. I don't mind answering, Char. I promise you, I don't mind answering.
So I want to answer.
When you say what if we hit an impasse, you mean like
you done like I said, you've talked through it, and she's on this side, but you as the leader have come to the other side. What are y'all doing now? Do you have to get a divorce, or are y'all gonna keep working at it until you find something that works as a partnership? Like I said, that's what I'm saying. Because you're the leader. You done said what you was gonna do. She done said she ain't doing it. Now what?
No, I didn't say like I'm not starting.
You gave the final say.
Hold on. I'm not. If I gave the final say, we're not having that other conversation. But I didn't start off the conversation based off what I'm going to do. Right? I'm going to come to you as my wife and be like, hey, babe, I got this idea. Like this is what I'm thinking in my head. Like, what are you thinking? Like, let's bounce this off of each other. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, let's see what we're gonna do in this situation. Right? We're gonna have conversations. Right? We're gonna weigh the pros and cons of both it, and we might even merge them. Right, but after we do that, I'm going to make that decision where what like going past that is. I'm not going to.
And she disagrees.
We just had a conversation though. Like now. Yeah. Now, if she just outright disagrees with something just for the hell of it.
Like maybe she doesn't. Maybe you want to put your kids in sports, and she's like, she's too early. It's dangerous. But whatever reason you feel like he's ready, you feel like will be good for his character. But we're gonna have that conversation. We're gonna weigh the pros and cons. We're gonna have that conversation and weigh the pros and cons, right? And if your wife ain't gonna ever disagree with you, no, I'm not saying that. She is gonna disagree with me at times, and sometimes I may be like, hey, babe, you can have that, and like that's just it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like we're never gonna be in a situation where I'm going to shoot her down. Just because she has an idea about something or she doesn't like something, I'm going to 100% pay attention and listen to my wife.
Yeah,
because outside of God and me, my wife is that. She's that person. Outside of God, she's my first go-to in any situation.
Okay, Char.
Go ahead, Char.
So bam, right? The type, at least from what I'm hearing, the type of guy that you're describing is a controlling man. Like
not necessarily.
Kind of man that the qualities that Smooth and Ebony have stated is a leader, like a person who understands that they are making the decisions, but they're real leaders who are actually great leaders are involving you in the process. Just like at my job, before my company changes the database or whatever, or decides to invest in a different email system, because I work in marketing, they have to consult me to be like, hey, we're thinking of switching this email database. How do you think that works for you and what you do? You can't just make these decisions and be like, oh, we changed the email database last night and you didn't give that person a heads up or even a say so. And at that point, that is now, like who said, dictatorship. Now, there's also something called equally yoked. So when you choose somebody who is equally yoked as you, who's actually equally yoked, because a lot of people ain't in equally yoked partnerships.
Boom.
Those little bullshit conversations don't happen. She's not gonna make a bullshit. Oh, I don't want to wear the red sock. You gonna like dumb shit, like what you're saying. Like, well, he wants to play sports. He's playing sports, and that's that. No, that's a stubborn person who is not meant to be in a relationship. Because now you're just
I think that's a really normal, healthy conversation. I strongly disagree. I think that's a really natural conversation. Like that's probably going to happen. And the idea that two people could come to really strong disagreements on something that probably does matter. But I'm saying that I don't think it's BS. I think it matters. Like I think that like some people have feelings on like football. I love football. I tackle football at that. I think that there's a lot of science that could lead a mother or a parent to feeling like, oh, okay, I'm not at an age where I feel comfortable putting my child in that.
I mean, I understand. I get what you're.
But I'm saying I don't think that's a BS. I don't think that's a little thing. So is what I'm saying. I think that you can have like a foundational disagreement on that. Saying, how do we solve that?
So maybe not that. Wait, before you respond, maybe not that specific example. What I'm saying is there are certain conversations that I've seen in relationships where the people clearly weren't compatible. And now at this point, you're just finding a reason to not agree. In a equally yoked partnership, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna find a way to come to some kind of agreement together. You're gonna actually talk to each other and get to that point.
Yeah, and that's what I'm disagreeing with.
So bam, just to be completely realistic here, okay? How that conversation actually goes is, all right, like she's still against, let's say she's still avidly against it, right? Okay, babe, what age is comfortable for you? And then you start to work from there, because it's not that playing sports is not the problem, it's his age that's the problem. So then you go, okay, what age sounds good for you? You know what I'm saying? Couldn't we put him in flag football instead of regular football? Can we start him in this sport instead of that sport? We just want him to start preparing himself so that he is good and ready to go for when it's time to actually get there. And Slay, I'll let you go.
Okay. I was gonna say in a partnership. So what I visually, when I think of a leader, this might be childish of me. When I visually think of a leader, I think of the line leader. The line leader. Remember when we were kids, there was a line leader, right? We were all involved in the standing in the line together. You made sure the person behind you was standing correctly in line. It's a partnership, right? So I don't think of the leader, so to say, in the relationship is an authoritarian figure. I think of it as you're involving your partner in a decision. You'll make it together, and if there is a situation where you guys don't agree, there will be compromise. I think it's unrealistic to think that you won't come to terms with a certain thing that you're disagreeing on or butting heads with. And I always say, me as a woman, I want a man who can lead. Why? Because I need that. I need you to hold my hand sometimes and say, hey, babe, that might not work, but let's think of it this way. Okay, babe, lead me on. Take my hand.
Like I said, I understand. Like I said, I understand y'all, everybody's perspective from an ideal world. But like whenever, basically my thing was like, I agree with
your world's not ideal if people aren't compromising.
No, I'm saying
I agree with what
you said. I think that's because what you said wasn't, you never, what you said didn't involve a leader at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. What you said was
that is leadership. No, do you know what that is? Like you got to go.
I'm saying that.
Wait, let him finish.
Yeah, why I'm telling you what you said doesn't involve a leader at all is because every description of a leader that everyone else has named in this conversation always came down to, at the end of the conversation, this man said what it was going to be. Now, like I said, wait a minute. Wait, I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm just saying that, like, whatever the conclusion of the conversation, he talked about the final. Hold on. Let me say the final say.
Hold on. Let me explain it better for you. I told what he's saying is what we're saying now. Hold on, but let's be clear. That final decision could be a decision that she 100% agree with, right? That she 100% has say so and input on, right?
Yeah.
Sure. I didn't disagree with that. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just clarifying what you're saying, because they're misunderstanding what you're saying and making it seem like he's the one, solely one making.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that you came to her. You were a great leader. You took everything she said into account. But everyone in this conversation has stated that at the end of the day, the man, the man's, from whatever information he's gained, is going to make a decision.
I just want to say,
so when you look at that from like a surface level value, sure, he's making I'm keeping it a band from a surface level value. Yeah, he's making the final decision or whatever like that. When you're talking about like nitpick this shorthand issues, when you're talking about actual like big actual issues, like whether or not y'all like buy another home or stuff like that, y'all might compromise on when you buy the next home. It's not that the decision still wasn't made to buy the next home. The goalpost got moved to a different area and a different time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where leadership compromises are. You know what I'm saying? It's the same again. I'll take it back to that same ship example. If they're not ready, they don't have enough fuel to turn the ship the other way. He's like, hey, we still got to go back to the engine room. We got to get some more fuel. We got to fix this piece, and then we'll turn that way. Okay, cool. When y'all get it fixed, let me know. Then we'll turn that way. But it's not that decision changed. It's the qualifications to make said decision and when you make it.
So again,
And
that's why I said back to like I don't describe what you're saying as a leader. I feel like we're having a semantical argument based on
That's
ego.
what a leader is.
But
So
describe what a partnership is and why you don't want it. Then
no, so
nobody said that's
no.
not
Wait, no. Describe
a
on a
leader-
relationship.
no.
What
So
is a
listen,
relationship that doesn't have a leader that you
Oh,
don't?
so
want?
listen. First of all. So
every relationship has a leader, even if they're a partnership. So listen. Let's be clear, right?
Okay, describe a relationship where she's a leader. Then y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm saying someone who doesn't believe in leadership.
So you cannot believe in leadership, and somebody's still going to make a decision, right?
Yeah.
Even if the decision is something you guys agree on, right? The decision can be something you guys agree on, right? And you guys can look at it like we made this decision as a partner, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that we're having. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I relate to ego, because I'm saying that we're arguing semantics at this point.
But
like
how
we're
is
arguing
that
like I need to call myself a leader for this.
And I just want to be clear. I just want to clarify one thing, right? A part of being a great leader is knowing when to delegate, right?
Yeah.
So, as a great leader, I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses.
The part of
I know my spouse's strengths.
Knowing how to delegate.
Hold on, Smooth. Hold on, Smooth.
That's what semantics means.
Bro,
let him have his opinion, sir.
Have you ever been in the military?
No, I have not.
So, as a senior non-commissioned officer, right? Literally, your job, a big part of your job is delegating, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you're where the rubber meets the road. You're where information comes down to, and then it disperses. So I have to say we have 6 different LOEs, 6 different lines of efforts. I have to delegate each one of those lines of efforts as a leader.
But it's not a compromise.
What?
The military is not a compromise, though. I'm about to say if they say run, you start running.
Whoa.
You have the wrong image of the military too.
So let me be honest with you. So
I'm from a military family. Military is not.
Bro, I'm currently in the military, bro. I'm currently in the military.
Not a compromise.
Listen to me out. This is where I'm going to disagree with you.
I don't really feel like doing that, Sergeant.
I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to explain to you how it is, right? You're speaking of at a lower level where only the work is getting done, right? You have certain goals you have to meet. Now, as a private coming into the military, right, you may have to do certain things you may not want to do, right? But once you get up in level, you have update briefs, bugs, cubs. You guys are all in that cub giving your side of the information to make a decision, right? So that 100% is a compromise on getting information from every aspect that you can to see what the decision is going to be. That is what compromising is. That is what the military does.
Well, so I was talking about props. I'm saying like a lower level member of the military. Like if he's given an order,
bro, that's like saying my child. That's like saying my child has a decision in how, like, if we're going to buy a house. No,
I think they're absolutely going to be part of that conversation,
bro. 100% not. So listen, bro. If me and my wife say, our child likes sports. Right? We're moving to a city that doesn't have any sports at all. Yeah, we may think about that, but our child doesn't get to have a decision.
It depends on what age you talk about. I feel like the children should be part of the conversation. Again, the child doesn't have to. This will be a role of an actual leader delegate dynamic. To me, that sounds like a leader. It sounds like, hey, like, how, like, we're gonna go visit the city. We're gonna show you school. I'm gonna try to show you some fun things around town, and I want to make sure that my child is gonna have a healthy environment here. Like, hey, do you think you might like this place? Now, again, I don't necessarily have to do what that child says, but that's consideration. A partnership is, if my wife doesn't want to move the city, we can't move there. It's not like, oh, I considered you, but now I'm making a decision. If my wife says no, I'm not living here, then we just can't live here. Her say is equal to mine.
I don't disagree with that. Besides the
y'all
part
saying
you just,
the same
yeah, we're saying the same thing. Besides
that's
the
why
part
I said we
that
talk
you
about
said,
semantics. We're saying like
besides the part you just said that
Wait, what?
Y'all literally saying the same thing.
Time out. We're gonna move to the other topic because at the end of the day, we're talking about whether or not you call it being a partner or a leader.
Yeah.
That's all we're talking. At the end of the day, you can be in a partnership with somebody in a company and somebody's the CFO and making all the financial decisions, and somebody's the CEO and making all the executive decisions. That's how that works. Y'all might be partners, but at the end of the day, somebody's making executive decisions and somebody's making financial decisions. That's what that is.
If somebody looked at your relationship and they said that wasn't you, would it bother you?
That's a partnership. That's a partnership at the end of the day, right?
I say if somebody looked at your relationship and said they're like, oh, I like from the outside, they don't consider you the leader. Would that bother you if you felt happy?
What?
If you felt
No,
I would say they don't know our dynamic and they don't understand
and
what
you
our
would need to
relationship
prove
is.
that to them.
No, I wouldn't have to prove anything to you because it's not incumbent upon me to prove my relationship to you, right? The only person I'm proving to is God, and like everybody else outside of that, okay, you feel how you feel. I really don't care.
Okay, like I said, I don't know, Moongate. You were I don't even know if you were on my side. I don't know whose side you were on. How you feel? You got quiet.
Oh, sorry, I was just listening. I like all the parts, so I'm not a big.
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh, can you not hear me? It's because
You're breaking up. That's what it is.
Oh, is it still funny?
Oh, you
sound better now.
Better now? Okay. No, I was just saying that I think it's still like a partnership. Not like I wouldn't reference somebody as like a leader per se. With all of my like partners, like we talk together, we make a decision together. They'll maybe make a decision. I'll make a decision. It really just depends on what it's on. So I wouldn't say there's like a leader of the relationship. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. This is like a partnership.
Okay.
Almost asked a red pill question.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save you from yourself.
I mean, at the end of the day, we literally all said the same things in different ways.
Yeah, I think we're saying
it's. I think in society there's maybe a toxic relationship with the word leader. I think maybe that's what it boils down to. Is that there's a toxic relationship with the word leader, and a lot of previous leaders have messed up what should be a good functioning relationship because they treat the people beneath them, or they visualize people as being beneath them instead of visualizing them being their equal. And y'all are on this journey and on this path together, because that's what it is when you're the leader of whatever it is. You're on the journey with them together. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're going to need them and they're going to need you. That's how that works. It's an equal relationship. They're giving you something and you're giving them something back that they ain't got. That's how that works.
And I also want to say, like, people confuse when somebody says equal. Like, I don't think men and women are equal in what they can do. I think men and women are 100% equal in as being human beings and in the eyes of God. We're equal human beings 100%. We have different strengths and weaknesses, though. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, we're not the same.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But it's also there's also going to depend on the person you're dealing with. Like you might not have the typical strengths.
That's why I said we have different strengths and weaknesses. I didn't say they're specific.
Yeah.
Okay. So our last thing is from come on, where's that at in the chat, man? Goodness gracious. Where did dude say it? Where did I say? Okay. So this is from the discussion group because somebody wanted me to ask this. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this. All right. So this is about accountability. So so what they said was, as an example, is when one party does wrong, one takes accountability and the other says, I only did wrong because you did it, or I was in a dark place, etc. So basically what they're talking about is like where you end up, like, instead of the person actually saying, oh, I did you wrong, or apologizing back, they actually go, well, I only did X, Y, and Z because you did this. You know what I'm saying? Not actually, that was the question was, you know what I'm saying? Instead of actually,
it's accountability. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, you go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I just think it's accountability. Like, if you're dealing, that's just somebody who's immature. If you can't take accountability, don't get in a relationship.
Period. This sounds real childish to me.
And you do it now. You do have those people who they get in a relationship and it's a tit for tat, and they don't know how to attack the actual disagreement or the situation instead of attacking each other. Yeah, the root cause instead of attacking each other. that's problematic. You probably should lead that individual. But yeah, that just sounds childish.
Slay, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I have to hop off, but what I think about this question is definitely tit for tat. As an adult, you get to a certain point where you're like, I have to take into account what I've done in a certain situation and just leave it at that. Like you have to grow from a situation. So accountability definitely, it's not a tit for tat game. Like own up to what you did, own up to your shit, basically.
I think that yeah, I definitely agree that accountability is super important in a relationship. I think that while that's true, even though the way you said it, described it, sounded really petty, like I could imagine a world where it's also like legitimate. Like at the end of the day, I'm in control of my body and my actions. I have, I have to own those things. But if I'm in a relationship, I can also come, like, if my partner was having issues, I would want her to be able to come to me and say that, like, hey, when you do X, it makes me feel some type of way that might make me act out in this certain way. And I could take that moment as a win and say, like, ooh, you need to be grown, take account of how I'm making you do this. Or I can take priority for my relationship and say that, like, oh, okay, if me doing this creates these problems, is it something that I necessarily have to do? Is it something that I can be more aware of? Like, tell me about it, and then we can figure out something that works.
Yeah, I'll add one more thing. If you want to be in a healthy relationship and you don't know how to be accountable, it's not going to be a healthy one. I'll put it to you like that. And until you learn how to be accountable, don't get in a relationship. If you would like to have a relationship that's prosperous, we'll say. Now, if you just want to be in a relationship just to be in one, by all means, go ahead. But it'll be a lot of arguing until somebody's accountable.
You be out here looking like Chrisean Rock, mooncake.
You petty.
Yeah,
I had to circle back.
I think everyone said it right. Like it's just like the maturity level. Some people don't like to take accountability. Some people do. I think it's okay to say that, and I think Bam said it. Like if you say something that it's going to upset the other person, just say it. Like tell that person, like, hey, I act out this way maybe because of these things. Kind of the best way to go about it. But yeah, I basically agree with what everyone said here. So.
Yeah. I knew there wasn't going to be much disagreement there because I think we're all adults here, but by and large, I don't see a lot of agreement.
And I also
How do you
think you should
apologize?
wait.
I'm so
I think
sorry.
you
I have
shouldn't
to head
wait.
out, but I just wanted to say thank you. But I'm so sorry.
All right,
Mooncake.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're
Bye,
good.
Yeah, I
Mooncake.
just wanted to say thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
you're
It was
welcome.
nice meeting everybody.
I thought she was Indian. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought you were Indian at first because
No.
I thought it was just like your last name or something.
She's a black woman. She's a maple black woman.
Yeah.
No, you have black Indians.
No,
That sound like
I was a black
contradiction.
woman. Nothing crazy. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
So how
Oh,
do
hold on. You just said that's a contradiction.
Yeah.
How,
like
bro?
that,
You
when you
literally
say
have this-
Indian, I say Native American. Like that's his own race.
Yeah, but you literally have Seminoles, which are like the descendants of Indians and runaway slaves.
You're talking about mixed people at that point.
They're still Indians.
That's just being overly technical. I mean, if somebody's seen them pulling up, like, and they looked more black, they're just gonna call them black, and that's just gonna be that.
Like
You're not gonna do a deep dive into their racial history.
Bro, that's he
immediately.
said like you have an ancestor who, bro, my grandmother was 100% Indian. What are you talking about?
But you not. That's what I'm saying. Like yeah, I mean, she might have been, but you not. You a nigga just like me.
Oh, that don't negate it. I still think the whole black, you drop a black, you black. But anyways.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's like that's the thing.
Where are we at? Where are we at? So
I wanted to ask.
Yeah. So look. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to wrap this shit up. Okay, it's been an hour and 30. You know what I'm saying? We over time. We in the extra time. So listen, I appreciate y'all for coming on. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all so much. This has been episode number 266. Thank you, Bam. Thank you, Mooncake. Thank you, Slazer, Whitney, Shar, King for coming on. Yeah, so we talked about Chrisean Rock, Summer Walker, 50-50 men versus traditional men, and accountability. If you have further questions, leave them in the comments. We are out of here. Bye.